What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Gervonte Tank Davis and Mario Barrios. 130 and 135 pound champion Gervonte Tank Davis and 140 pound world champion Mario Barrios is in the works for this coming summer. Both the date and location are still being decided at this time. Going by some of Davis's 24 and 23 comments, he said, "I'd wagger on seeing this sometime in June." Davis only fought once in 2020, but it was a performance to remember as he crushed Leo Santa Cruz with a vicious uppercut to score what is likely would have been one of the knockouts of the year, but for Jose Cepeda, because the WBA are cretins. The 130-pound victory both served as a defense for Tank's secondary lightweight title and secured him a super featherweight title previously held by El Terremoto. All right, he previously held the IBF, of course we know that. All right, but Barrios is 26-0, picked up his own secondary belt in 2019 with a questionable decision over Batir Akhmadov. Starting strong but fading down the stretch against his fellow unbeaten bruiser, he was a fair bit more dominant against Ryan Carl in his primary defense in last Halloween. And though he'd been in the talks to face Regis Prograis and recently discussed a potential move to welterweight, it looked as though he's staying put for crack at Davis. Though unexpected, there's a lot to like about this matchup. Both firepower, both grit, both power punchers, both very aggressive fighters. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. See, you guys want challenge. You guys have talent. You want to challenge your talent. Gervonte Tank Davis is an undeniable talent, but he has to be challenged. This is a great opportunity. Why? Because he's never fought at 140. He's had problems making weight at 135. 130, I think he was very powerful. But if you notice, and what we should notice, or should expect rather, that from 130, he's knocking out Leo Santa Cruz. From 135, he's going 12 rounds with an older Gamboa. But at 140, that's the big question mark. But it's still the type of fights I want to see, because I'm waiting for Gervonte Tank Davis to be tested. So I look at this fight as an exciting fight for me, because I hope it gets made. I hope it's no BS. I hope it's no scare or concern from Team Mayweather because they are worried about putting him in there. No, Mario Barrios is one of those guys that they should put him in there with. Why? He hasn't really fought a lot of guys, so it's not that risky, but it is risky because he's from a totally different weight class, on top of being undefeated, on top of being a champion. Okay, so that's something that Gervonte Tank Davis can build on. And so in hindsight, if you look at what he's really doing, he could be 140, 135, and 130. So he could be like a smaller version of Canelo fighting at these weights. Because, you know, Canelo was at 175, 168, 160. Well, cool. Gervonte Tank Davis could be at 140, 135, and 130. So for all those who didn't listen, for all those who did and doubted me, like I told you, if this fight gets made at 140, this would be a fight that will acclimate Gervonte Tank Davis to a weight that he should have been in the first place. I keep telling people that. But people don't want to listen. They think, oh, he'll tap out at 135. Listen, we don't know what he's going to do at 140. We don't. That's the beauty of it. I'm tired of Gervonte Tank Davis and his, fighting guys that had to move up to fight him. Now he's moving up to fight that other guy, this champion. And you think this guy, which is 26-0 with 17 by KO, is going to let Gervonte Tank Davis do that? And then what happens? You look, ask anybody. Ask Manny Pacquiao. Ask Canelo Alvarez. well, Canelo's an exception, okay? But you ask Floyd Mayweather, these guys, you don't knock them out right away. You're a smaller guy naturally, so it's going to take you a while. If you stop them at all, you might stop it from just giving them too much of the business. But knocking them out, that's the challenge. Okay, so not every fight you can't knock them out, or can you? Can Tank Davis's weight, or should I say power, move up to that weight? Can he do a Manny Pacquiao up there? He's the same damn height, right? Southpaw, very vicious, very aggressive, very talented. Now imagine if look, I'm like this. If you have people criticize Lomachenko for not going to 140, they should praise Gervonte Tank Davis for going to 140. Okay, but if he can't go past 140, that's a totally different issue. This is great for Gervonte Tank Davis. This is the sport that I love, that I hate so much. Because Gervonte Tank Davis, they're finally saying, you know what, put him in there. You know, put him in there with somebody that's undefeated. Put him in there with somebody that's not someone else's leftover. Put him in there with a young, hungry, strong, determined guy that's 25, a year younger than him, in his prime, right? Undefeated. And it's both of their time. So let's see who time it really is. So I want this fight to get made. Let's see this fight. Gervonte Tank Davis, Mr. Barrios. Let's have it. You guys tell me what you think about this particular fight between these two champions. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.